Pierre is still traveling abroad. Tiger's not here. Karen and John Desmond have excused absence for their grandchildren's birthday. So, trustee Noda.
Laurel Clark.
Mark Phillips.
Kate Sullivan,
Carol Stedman.
Sharon Henderson.
Harry Murphy.
Okay, and a quorum, and we'll jump into item number 2. Approval of the minutes. Pull this up. And, excuse me. Has everybody had a chance to review the draft minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion that we postpone the approval of the minutes, August the 5th, till the next meeting so they can be corrected.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Well,
Okay, hold on, just, so now under discussion,
Sorry.
no problem. Yeah, did you have,
Yeah, what corrections need to be made?
That's what I was gonna talk about.
Oh,
okay, so yeah, let's,
Okay. So, it says discussion on all these areas on the minutes. You don't have that up there. On all the discussion events, it says discussion took place regarding the Liberty Tree, discussion took place, it goes all the way down, discussion. And Robert Rules of Order, edition 12, number 48, section 28 says that you have to include motions made if there are any, which were included where motions were made, actions assigned if there was any, or no action. So there's no subject or topic there either. So if I wasn't there, I have no idea, and neither does anyone else that read these, what happened. It don't have to have any type of discussion, or as far as, what would you say?
She just wants it noted that.
Noted.
that
And
no
according to
action
Robert's
was
rules, it
taken
has
on.
to be noted in accordance with, in those rules. And you have to either say one of those three things.
so
You'd like
this
to refer to
discussion and
that?
no action taken, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it would say, and a topic.
okay. All right, I could add to that, so I have worked with Terry and Nicole just to confirm, and, you know, what the best practices are, so I think we are following the best practices, but if you have discrete change, if you're just asking to say that, for example, no action was taken, discussion on this topic, no action taken.
Yes, that has
okay.
to be written in there, so I'm just asking if we can approve it when it's written in there
Okay, well, actually, I think we can make a friendly amendment for the minutes that are here. So what I'm to understand is that is, in your opinion, it's consistent with all the discussion topics? There was discussion but no action taken?
on a topic and no action taken.
Okay. All right.
It requires that the minutes record what was done,
Right, understood.
not what was said.
Understood. Yeah, we agree with that.
And discussion took place repeatedly without motions, decisions, or substance.
Okay.
This makes them incomplete and non-compliant.
Okay, well, that's an opinion.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going along with that or not.
But,
Actually, let's recommend we just say, update of Liberty Tree program. Would that be good? Because that's what we did, we just updated the Liberty Tree program, updated the Speaker Series program, no action taken.
I'd be interested in, it seems like one of the objections is that Robert's Rules of Orders requires us to note any actions that were taken.
And you did.
And I did. All motions that were made
You
were
don't,
noted.
right.
Are you claiming that 4828 of Robert's Rules of Orders also requires a specific statement when no action was taken?
Yes. I'm saying that all those places where it says discussion took place regarding that, okay, regarding, let's do the
Yeah,
military.
let's
Let's go to mine, the recognition took place, the discussion took place regarding military recognition. Let's do that one. What was the subject of that?
We talked about the agenda item, any motions that were made, any actions that were taken.
What was
are in the
that right
minutes.
there? I wasn't there, and neither is the person that's gonna read this, you know,
So-
for historical purposes.
This is what is required by Rhode Island statute and by Robert's Rules of Order. Any actions that were taken are included in
this-
these minutes.
I've got it differently, so we'll have to review that.
Okay, so what I understand, if I hear you, Sharon, is that it's either there was an action taken or there wasn't an action taken. And that is the limit of any potential addition to what's actually been.
Substance.
No, the substance is, we verified with the town clerk that we don't have to, and actually, it's good practice, and it's actually encouraged through Robert's Rules of Order not to put substance into discussion.
Discussion,
Um,
not, yeah.
So I think if we at least have the topic, so discussion of, topic X or Y, and then if there was no action taken, we can say that. If there was an actual action taken, we can say that there was a vote and what the vote was.
Well, we did that. She did that very well.
Okay, so
She did it in 100 places. It was
is
just
is
these.
there any other discussion regarding making a friendly amendment to insert under the discussion of these events where there was no action taken to say there was no action taken? Is there?
As the person with the pen, I want to verify that is a requirement
Okay.
of Rhode Island statute and Robert's Rules of Orders as opposed to a reading or an FAQ. If that's a requirement, I'll go back and add it. If it's not a requirement, I have no intention of picking up the pen again on this document.
Okay, understood. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor in deferring the minutes until the next meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Two opposed? Okay, Russ?
I'm happy with the minutes the way they are, so I'll oppose.
Okay, so the motion fails. Is there another motion?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Carol, I didn't get your vote on that?
Oh, I went with her.
Your aye, okay.
Is there another motion on the minutes? Is there another motion on the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carol and Sharon, do you want to vote?
Yeah, I'm opposed.
Okay, so the motion passes, minutes are approved, 4-2, Carol and Sharon voting in opposition. Okay. So let's go to draft agenda.
Before we
Chair, excuse me,
Excuse. Can I interrupt you?
no.
Mr. Chair?
No, you can't, unless it's
It-
aligned with the agenda.
It is part of Robert's rules here. I want to make
Would
a
it-
motion to amend the agenda,
Okay,
and this is where you put it in right now.
okay, what's the agenda?
I'd
what's your
like to
motion?
move that the Military Recognition Committee's report be restored to the top of the subcommittee agenda,
Okay.
following the chair's report. And this position is essential because several time-sensitive activities are scheduled for September, including cemetery cleanups and National POW MIA Recognition Day. And it's always appeared first, and it was moved to the bottom without a vote or discussion.
Okay, is there
Not
a-
unless you did that last
Is there a
time.
second?
Second.
Okay, under discussion, anybody have any thoughts or opinions on this? Is there, okay, so I'll ask that we take a vote. Those in favor of changing this agenda item for discussion, opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion fails. We're on to the chair report. The discussion regarding committee rules and guidelines. Actually, under chair report, before I jump into that, I'll just give you an update on some of my items. It's just informational, it's no action item. So Mark and I did have a good discussion with Charles Roberts from the Rhode Island Slave Medallion Museum. Very interesting discussion in terms of potential interest in the Saugatuck skirmish. And he expressed interest in participating, which is wonderful. He has a wealth of knowledge, and happy to see that there's some integration of some of the soldiers, local soldiers in the Revolutionary War that are from South Kingston that could get represented. I think he's going to help our committee out greatly in that regard. We have heard from Lauren Fogarty from the 250th Commission about the grant programs. Again, later on in the grants, we can talk about it in more detail. But I think we should be aligning our programs, what we want to do, and we do have to move forward with securing deposits. And basically, with any grant, you have to write the grant so that you can actually get it, right? So there's some nuancing that'll have to happen there. Let's see, what else? I did get contacted by Deb Suggs from the Daughters of American Revolution. She has invited our entire committee to come to an event. I believe it's September 18th. I'll forward the email out to everybody, where there's a local person who created the local chapter. They're buried at the Old Fernwood Cemetery. Again, I believe it's September 18th. So there's a ringing of the bells ceremony that's happening. So she's encouraged the entire 250th committee to come out there. I think that was wonderful to have that outreach from Deb. She's well known and does great work. I think John and Karen are actually working with her. She may be part of some of the speaker series. And that's kind of like off the top of my head, those are the big items that have happened over the last couple of weeks since we last met. Yes, ma'am.
Are you going into your draft procedures?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion out of fairness to this entire committee that I believe we all deserve a chance for an in-depth review and reflect on these procedures before being asked to vote. This affects how every one of us participate moving forward. We received the draft procedures in an email on the 17th, just 2 days before our meeting today. Therefore, I move to postpone the adoption of these draft procedures until September meeting, when the committee has an adequate time to review and consider the alternatives.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, under discussion.
Is there a lot of changes, do you think?
I think, I don't know if there's gonna be, there's a lot of, I've gotta go over it. I've got a whole family thing, and I have been spending the whole time on the agenda. And then I got this, I don't have time to go over it, I really don't. And so it's just being a fair thing, you know? It's not like I'm against it totally, or I just haven't had a chance to review it to the extent it needs to be. These are procedures, our committee procedures. And they do need to be gone over with a fine-tooth comb.
So there was an initial draft of these procedures that was routed immediately prior to our last committee meeting over 2 weeks ago. This revision incorporated changes that were requested by members of the committee during that meeting. So this is substantially a document that folks have had over 2 weeks to review with some revisions. I'm not sure with a committee that's really got not much more than a year left in its natural life that we should be kicking the can any further down the road with regard to adopting procedures that are, fairly simple on their surface.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of deferring the approval of the draft procedures? Okay, any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, the motion fails. We're going to resume review of the draft committee procedures. Let me just quickly go through this as a matter of record. The establishment is clearly through the town council, as we all recall. I reached out to the town council, asked them to create a committee. They did. Charge is pretty direct in terms of our alignment, not only locally, statewide, but also nationally, with our role in regard to the American Revolution. Term limits, there really aren't term limits. It's just that our committee will expire on December 31st of 2026. It's intended to be, you get appointed, you're involved, we do all the work, and then we conclude. Membership, The council is the sole body to make appointments to this full committee. I believe the only requirement is that you are a resident. Conflict of interest, I borrowed this from standard board package language. I don't perceive that anybody would have a conflict of interest, but it's good practice to have it in there. The roster, as we talked in previous meetings, I will update the roster consistent with the town requirements. The organization, we have a chair, vice chair, and secretary, and the broad responsibilities of the chair leading the committee meetings, vice chair standing in if the chair is not available, secretary for preparing minutes. Schedule is what we've talked about and what we've been practicing for months. First and third Tuesdays of the month until we decide that we can drop back to a monthly pace. This is just what the 300th committee had done as well. Public meeting and transparency, I won't go through all of them, but this is really just, let's play in the same box nicely with everybody. We did try to restrict our meetings to 90 minutes and give an out where if somebody wants to extend the meeting, we can do it through a motion. I did put in here that materials should be included for new topics. They should be sent electronically to the secretary so that we can send information out to the full committee membership, just as we've done with these draft policies. I think it's just a good practice, and I see it in every other board and commission that I sit on. Quorum, we had decided this previously to be at least 4 members. Decision-making, the committee needs to be collaborative, and we are doing our work through a simple majority of members present. At Sharon's request, we did add the section of subcommittees, the skirmish subcommittee, speaker series subcommittee, military recognition, town beach subcommittee. I recognize that we might also want to have a Liberty Tree subcommittee as well, because it seems to be a standalone event. So that may be a friendly amendment to the draft here. And the point being, the subcommittees may have a chair and a vice chair. They have no authority or autonomy. Basically what they do is work offline, and they have to comply with Secretary of State's requirements. So we have to be very careful. We don't want to think about calling them subcommittees or work groups. If they are bona fide subcommittees, then we do have to go through the process of posting our agendas and doing minutes for all the subcommittees as well, including hosting meetings in a public location. You have to have handicap accessibility and a lot of other things that go along with it. So that's a nuance we might want to think about. Maybe we're going to call ourselves work groups versus subcommittees. The responsibilities and reporting, scope of work, really it's whatever the title of your group is. It's intended to be directly correlated to a program that we're going to host for the 250th. Conduct, again, we talk about Secretary of State, Town of South Kingstown, and the Roberts Rules of Order. Again, Sharon, you requested that. Final report, when we're done with our work, we will issue a final report to the Town Council. And discussion. We have, dissolution, I'm sorry, and we will dissolve at the end of December of 2026.
Can I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the one that, the public meetings transparency, it's got here that a notice of each meeting, including the agenda, must be posted in a public location. But above that, it says meetings should be focused on previously approved events that the committee has endorsed. Any new topic should be shared with the secretary in advance. The next regularly scheduled meeting, so that fellow committee members can review and prepare before. So what I wanted to talk about here was that that all future draft agendas be circulated to the committee members at least 5 days before the scheduled meeting. And I think that was, by the way. But the other one is that I move that members be allowed to submit proposed agenda items up to 5 days before the agenda is finalized and distributed.
Okay. I think in regard to circulating a draft agenda, we pretty much, we're trying to keep the same agenda format. We're trying to intentionally cast a wide net so we can capture almost any activity that relates to one of our approved programs. So I don't think, I mean, we're intentionally trying to set ourselves up for predictability. So I think we're close, if we're not already there, for that metric, your first ask. The second ask, I think we're aligned with, and Kate, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had asked previously, how do we get on the agenda? I think that we kind of climbed that hill last time around, so I think knowing the general format of our agendas, if you have a suggestion, I think Kate sends out the draft agenda, and you have the opportunity to ask, to get something added.
This is to submit items for the proposed agenda 5 days before the
So-
draft agenda.
So last meeting, 2 weeks ago, you made a motion, and I'm just trying to parse out how this motion is different from the one that was actioned
Okay,
last
go ahead.
time. Your motion 2 weeks ago was that committee members be given an opportunity to provide agenda items. And during the discussion, Mr. Burke and I believe somebody else from the town indicated that we really need it to be submitted to the, given the timing of when it needs to be posted, committee members are requested to get their agenda items to us no later than 1 week prior to the next scheduled meeting. That motion, as amended with the 1 week added to it, was voted on and approved.
So I can't make
unanimously.
this motion.
I'm not sure how this motion that you're making tonight differs
Because
from the
it's-
one that you made 2 weeks ago.
If you read the end of that, it says, and enough so it's 1 week. This actually says 5 days before the draft agenda goes out.
And if we're meeting every other week, I mean, isn't that kind of like 2 days after we meet? I mean, that,
Well, we pretty much, as you said, we're pretty much on schedule for what we're doing, so.
okay, well,
It's
all right,
just we're
I just wanna
volunteers,
clarify.
you have no idea how hard I work, how many hours I spend doing this, and it would just make it easy, to do this. I mean, I could not do it, but this is my passion.
Okay, so I think I hear what you're saying. Are there any other comments or suggestions on the draft?
Well, actually, so who approves the agenda? So we can make recommendations, can you please add this to the agenda, but who
What,
decides if it gets put on the agenda?
so this is, so the chair doesn't. The chair and secretary are working together to prepare framework for discussion. What we do is we send out the agenda draft to all committee members. And we affirm, if there's new items that aren't covered where we really ought to talk about it. If there was some brand new event we wanted to do or something that's not, in my mind, that's what I'm understanding. So anybody from the committee can ask,
Okay,
right? And I don't think we would ever be in a position where we being, Kate and I, just as the stewards of this process, we would keep something off the agenda. So anybody can ask for something to be on the agenda, is a short version.
Yeah, and I think we're talking a little bit hypothetical, but one concrete example is, we did have an occasion where, Sharon, you had asked for an amendment to the agenda, and you provided documents to support that. The item that you wanted to talk about was broadly already on the agenda, so the agenda stood, but all of the documents that you had provided for discussion were routed out to the committee with the agenda. So, we had the agenda as it was written, plus your backup documents that you wanted to talk about at that next meeting. So that was, the only time I can recall that there was a request to amend the agenda. That's kind of how we handled it. We identified where in the agenda that item already lived.
Right.
But then provided everybody with the backup documents for discussion.
So I'm asking for 5 days before the draft agenda and
Okay.
my proposal here.
We need, if anybody has an item that they would like to add to the agenda, the agenda is pretty much a boilerplate document with amendments to it. If you would like to change that, it needs to get to us no later than 1 week prior. That's 1 week prior is when we're going to circulate the draft agenda to include to the town for them to post. So 5 days.
So there's no way to get anything on there before you create the agenda? That's the rule you're making, or that's what you have in force now?
It's a template, you know, I mean, you can phrase it any way you
Yeah.
want. I think it's a template that's purposely crafted to cover everything that's under our umbrella. So in the event that there's anything outside, or on the outside of the umbrella, every committee member has the opportunity to ask to put something on.
So basically, just send an email to Kate.
Apologies.
Yeah, yeah,
Send an email to Kate and she will add to the agenda.
yeah, and for what it's worth, I mean, I just wanna go through the entire procedures, and then we can kind of figure out what do we wanna do. So I think I understand what you're saying. So I understand what you're saying, and again, in a 2 week time set, the way I interpret that is, like, seriously, 2 days after our committee meeting, we will ask for people to, you know, give us, you know, new agenda items. Although we do that at the end of every single meeting. Are there any other changes that are suggested or proposed? I'll just clarify, I think, and when I wrote the, excuse me for scrolling here, I think I inadvertently left off the Liberty Tree celebration. I think that could be another subcommittee, because that is coming up. That's, was it October, end of October of this year?
Yeah, we've got that in the fourth bullet point down. It's just not spiked out, which we can certainly make that change. No, fourth, come on down, almost to the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Ah, gotcha. All right. Okay, fair enough. Any other discussion?
Oh, yeah. I make a motion that the official name for the committee, which it's been used the whole time and it's not appearing there, is the Military History Recognition Subcommittee.
Okay.
Well, we didn't vote on the other one, did we? We can't.
I think what we're doing under discussion is we're just kind of like gathering all the bits and pieces, all the little things that may be changed.
Oh, well, I did make a motion on that last one. So that means that's a point of order, it's got to be
Okay,
voted on.
all right, so any other discussion on the first motion was, did you please restate the motion?
Okay.
5 days? Is it the 5 days?
Oh, 5 days, yeah.
The five days.
Any other discussion on it? All those in favor?
Can I ask a
Yes.
question,
Yeah.
just a point of information for my own curiosity? So if you're calling it a subcommittee, it will have to follow all open meeting laws, which means its own agenda, its own minutes.
Right, so that's separate from the motion that's on there, but I wanna get back to that. And yes, if we were, we should,
Yeah.
because if we inadvertently had 4, you know, full committee members there, then you'd have a quorum, and it gets really mucky. So I think we're gonna come back to that, and maybe there's a nuance to change subcommittee to work groups. So we can give official recognition to people that are actually on the work groups, but not bind ourselves to Secretary of State's requirements. You know, trying to ride that fence. Okay, so back to the motion that was made seconded. I'm calling for a vote. We had 2 in favor, any opposed? Okay, motion fails. Thank you, Kate, for clarifying that in addition to the 4 bulleted committees, there's a recognition that there's at least two other subcommittees, the tree planting or the Liberty Tree Committee, as well as the 4th of July celebration. So I don't think we need to change that at this point in time.
And I did make the motion, or I'd like to make the motion that the official name be used on all records, military history recognition, instead of military recognition.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
You've done it in the past, I don't know why it changed.
Any, forgive me, Sharon, it's probably just a ton of information. I'm just trying to compile it and put it in an organized format, and it wasn't intentional. I'm just trying to get things squared away so we can talk about things. Okay. We have a motion, second. Any other discussion on the topic? All right. All those, well, you guys voted in favor.
Yeah.
We have,
Let's vote now. All those in favor of changing the name from military recognition to military history recognition?
yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
aye. All right, so that passes, okay.
Whoopie doodle, got one.
Now, do we want to change the name of subcommittee to working group?
Would you like to make that?
I would like to make a motion that we change the name of subcommittee to working group to avoid the open meeting to ride the fence.
Second?
Actually, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. Let's just
Why?
massage it, so let's just change the name.
Let's
Not to
just
avoid
change the
anything.
name.
Yeah, okay. Any discussion on this?
I'd like to keep it in the open situation. I like the due diligence it requires to be
Okay.
a subcommittee.
Okay.
Of course, that won't mean anything at this table, but maybe
No,
so.
oh, okay, well, so, that's fine, so there's a suggestion. I've got some, guidance from other, town committees that, use work groups actively. That's my, input into this topic. There are work groups, in official, committees, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in order to avoid open meetings laws, but it has, it's more rooted, and those are my words, my apologies. We're trying to be functional. So, any other discussion on this topic? All right, so we had a motion that was seconded by Mark, seconded by Kate, to change the title of the subcommittees to work groups. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 1, 2 opposed, okay, the motion passes. Any other changes or suggestions on the draft procedures?
Can I ask you a question on what
Yes.
you just voted on? Will the work groups have any type of leadership? And you've used the word subcommittee in your past.
Yes,
I mean, you've used the word subcommittee in a lot of your documentation in the past.
True.
Is that just understood to mean work group?
correct.
Okay, so if you did something with a subcommittee in your literature that, in the past minutes, that, I make a motion that a subcommittee in the past minutes means work group because we just changed it to that, correct? A subcommittee was just a technicality, it is a work group. That's what I'm trying to get, that order, so if it refers to subcommittee somewhere in the notes, now it's work group, that will be the same as a work group. Is that a motion? Can I make that motion?
I heard that.
Yep.
Second? Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, passes unanimously. Thank you, Sharon, for that clarification. Any other suggestions, changes, modifications, or motions? Gonna play the Jeopardy theme song.
Oh, are you trying to change document?
No.
Or you're just waiting?
Just go quiet.
All right,
Actually, I don't know what's in the
Let's go to
motion,
bed now.
but once we get this squared away, will this be the last discussion we have on our committee procedures? Because we spent 40 minutes on this.
Yes.
We've not got to any of the meat of what we're doing, and any of the events that we're gonna plan, nothing. So we're spending a whole lot of time on procedures. It's August, we've been at this for a few months.
Yep.
So by now, we should have this stuff figured out.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
I've got a motion to make on that, okay?
Make the motion.
I make a motion, that members must respect the time spent establishing rules and the fair process, since past lack of rules created unfairness. And the purpose is to stop the let's skip this procedure attitude. In every meeting it comes up, in fact, last time there was a motion. If you look at our agenda that we have, how many items are just talking about that, not even planning events, so it's even in our thing. So I think our meeting members must respect the time spent establishing these rules and not diss them. And I make a motion that happen.
Is there a second?
Aye.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, are there any other motions on the draft procedures? A motion to approve would be in order.
I'll make a motion, we approve the draft procedures with the corrections that we discussed during this meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, under discussion, let's review the changes that we agreed to. We talked about, I'm sorry, I'm not writing anything down here. The name of the subcommittees is work groups. We did take a vote on backing up changes to the agenda that got dismissed, voted down. I don't know, what other changes did we agree to?
That may have been it for changes to the document. We have some open sections in the document to action once we've approved this.
Sure. Sure. All right, so that's all that I recall, is changing the title of subcommittees to work groups.
And the name of military
Oh,
history
forgive me.
recognition.
Yep, that was Sharon's motion, so, military history recognition work group. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay, Carol?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
That was opposed or in favor? Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're going back to the agenda. With elections, we talked about this, and I think better than a month ago, I couldn't make a meeting. We changed the meeting date. I think that caused some concern. So I think it made sense to have a vice chair set up on the committee so we can have continuity. And if one of us is not here, the chair or the vice chair, then we would have we can continue our meeting schedule. That being said, the vice chair position, through the procedures that were just adopted, it's a position that is basically a backfill for the chair position. I don't believe there are any other responsibilities that this position has, so hopefully it's a light lift. That being said, I'd like to open this item up for nominations. If anybody would like to serve as the vice chair, they may do so, or they may be nominated by any other committee members.
Yeah, I think it makes an awful lot of sense to have somebody in that position, just for that reason you stated, if you're not available. I would nominate Mark to serve in that capacity, if he's willing.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? And again, reading through the Robert's Rules of Order, I have to say it multiple times. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay. And per Robert's Rules of Order, if there are no other nominees, we don't have to take a vote. So congratulations. Debbie is the head. Where's the crown? Oh, in a revolutionary, type setting.
Indeed, thank you.
So, Chair recognizes very soggy Mr. Woodman, who's making his way across the bridge. It's 5:44 PM. So, Bill, we just went through, we deferred the minutes, we went through the procedures. They were adopted with two small changes. The work group, the subcommittees are called work groups, and we've clarified the military recognition work group is the military history recognition. Okay, we're now on to 4Bs, subcommittee officer elections. Again, this is really intended to be work group, so we'll have to make a note of this in the minutes. So the intent is to have chairs for these work groups. And as we talked, we'll just take this sequentially. Liberty Tree Subcommittee is up first. Sharon, I know you've taken the bull by the horns with this one. Are there any nominations for the Liberty Tree Subcommittee?
I nominate Chair.
Okay, second, or, no, sorry, let me take that back. Okay, so Sharon's been nominated. Are there any other nominations? All right, any other nominations? All right, any other nominations? No. Congratulations, Sharon, well deserved. You are the chair of the Liberty Tree Work Group. Speaker Series Subcommittee, I'm gonna do this 18 times before the end of this meeting. Speaker Series Work Group. John and Karen have obviously been working on this. I know they've been working with you, Sharon, directly on this as well. Are there any nominations?
I nominate John Pesman.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? I know, Sharon, you're working with him directly on this. Things seem to be well. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. We will inform John and Karen that John is the chair of this work group. Fair enough. Saugatuck Skirmish Work Group. Are there any nominations for
I
this?
nominate Ken Burke for that.
Okay, are there any nominations, any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, I accept that nomination and thank you. I'll continue to do work and report out to the full committee. Town 4th of July Work Group. We haven't really spent much time like planning this. We know it's really squarely with Terry here. It'd be great if somebody were to step up and kind of embrace this opportunity. Are there any nominations for this work group? Any nominations?
I nominate myself for that.
Okay. All right, that's allowable.
It's okay. I got it
You
covered.
gotta tell make sure your wife knows about all this. Okay, any other nominations? Any other nominations? All right, congratulations, Mark. You are chair of the 4th of July Work Group. Town Beach Party Work Group. Are there any nominations? I will say that I did go to the town concert series on Monday evening. It was great to see almost a packed house out there. Wonderful time was had by all. I'm glad, Terry, that you and others have got a good working handle on how to animate that area. I think it should be I'm not gonna say it should be a light lift. Like, especially when you light the bonfire.
Yeah, we still have to go talk to the fire marshal about that. I nominate Russ to be the chair of that, and I will give you a hand, Russ.
Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Boy, nobody's nominating the people who haven't showed up tonight.
Right? We got John. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Any other nominations? Okay, congratulations, Russ. You are now the chair of the Town Beach Party Work Group. This is the last group, the Military History Recognition Work Group. Are there any nominations?
Actually, I'm sorry.
And Carol, we're co-chairs.
Actually, I don't know if our monument is gonna be able to happen during our tenure as the 250th. So I think we're gonna have to maybe fill in another event. Since Bill is a VFW member, I would nominate Bill Boardman as the Military History Recognition Chair.
Okay, so we have Sharon and Carol.
Can I speak to that?
Hold on one second, I just want to get through nominations. We have Bill. Are there any other nominations? And we'll get back, we'll talk about this. Any other nominations? And nominations? Okay. All right, so let's just talk about it before we take some votes here, because I want to.
We have an entire program we're in the middle of, labeling all of the graves and photographing them and making a book of all the military veterans of the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
And we're doing all sorts of commemoration, whether there's a monument or not. We don't know there's not gonna be a monument. That's bogus, okay? So, point being that nothing's off the agenda yet to say we wanna have somebody else, because this is, I've been working on this for over a year before now.
Okay.
It's very serious.
Okay. Trying to, let me abide by Robert's Rules of Order. So I want to make sure I understand. I'm supposed to take votes on chairs in sequence of when they were
Okay,
rendered. So there was
but
Sharon.
how do I
there was
word
Carol,
this? That's misinformation
there
that
was-
was just posted right there.
I'm sorry. There
What
was,
was just said at this table is not true.
I'm sorry.
This
I don't know what you're-
program isn't continuing the,
that's an opinion. I'm trying to focus on nominations. So I have you, I have Carol, and I have Bill. That's what we have for nominations. So I have to take the votes in sequence. All those in favor of, and again, the prior committees or work groups did not have challenges, so it was just one and done. But we have to take votes individually so that we follow Robert's Rules of Order, which are part of our newly adopted bylaws or our procedures. So all those in favor of Sharon as the chair of the Military History Recognition Work Group, raise your hand. Okay. All those in favor of Carol Stedman as chair of the Military History Recognition Work Group, raise your hand. Okay. All those in favor of Bill Boardman as the Military History Recognition Work Group, raise your hand. Okay. Bill Boardman is the chair of that work group. As we finish those elections, my suggestion is the committee is fully open, is that we continue to be open and everybody's welcome, everybody participates. As is articulated in the committee procedures, the work groups are intended to do work offline and to have reports out to the full committee. The work groups don't have any autonomy. They just do work so that when we come to these meetings, we can be highly functional, support each other, motivate each other, and move the needle forward on all these events. So thank you for stepping up for those roles. I'm going to go to item 5, discussion under events. 5A, subsection 1 is the planting of the Liberty Tree. Sharon, that's all you. I don't know if you'd like to give an update on that.
I'd like to get off that committee, please. I don't wanna be on that committee, so you
Okay.
can give that to somebody else that wants to work.
Okay, let's, my understanding, I was fortunate to get copied on correspondence from the Secretary of State's office. Sharon had been working directly with them on behalf of our committee and organizing this program with the town staff. So right now, this event doesn't have a leader. I don't know if anybody at this point in time wants to pick it up. Bill, you want to pick it up? Okay. I'll share that correspondence with you so we have continuity through the committee, through the town, and upward to the Secretary of State's office. My understanding, I believe it's the end of October, and they have a template in terms of how to honor and how to participate in this statewide initiative. So my guess is that that template can be easily manipulated, tweaked for South King Central. The entire committee can participate.
Yeah, just a point of order with Sharon's withdrawal from that. Do we need a nomination? Do we need a formal nomination?
If you, so, I mean, why don't we just, I mean, I do have an obligation to report out people that drop off committees and subcommittees. So Sharon, if you want to think about this, if you'd like to formally drop off of it, I'll have to report out to
Okay,
them.
I'll let you know whether I decide to do it or not.
Thank you. All right, so let's just let that one slide for probably, until the next meeting, because I think we've got.
So is this
we've gotta get
an
moving.
adopted rule right now, what we're doing?
What-
When we're making these, we're voting for these work group leadership?
That already happened, that was,
But
section
that's
4.
what's happened, that's what we just did.
Correct.
Okay.
And I would ask Sharon, again, if you could work with Bill on this, that'd be appreciated. We don't have a lot of time, and I don't think we explicitly broke out this event. This might be wrapped under or be part of military history recognition. And maybe it's just on the outside, I'm not sure. I wanted it to be its own thing, but I guess what I'm saying is we don't necessarily have a budget for it, and I think it'd be good if there was that standard pro forma, fill out the list of what you need, what the elevator speech is. Maybe if you guys can get together on this and before the next meeting have a plan, then we can advance that and the committee can bless it so that we're in time step to actually host the event end of October.
Okay, everything's just hunky-dory.
Thank you. The speaker series, I did see, I'm not sure, was everybody copied? I know you've been working with John and Karen. I know John and Karen and Sharon have all the speakers lined up. I know you've got many of the events at the high school. There's some at Contemporary Theater, and I believe at least one.
It's a 3.
3 at the library?
Yeah, well, nothing has been given to me for sure, but I've reserved the space.
Okay.
It's available.
Great. And I think as we have this draft logo that again prominently features the Kingston Free Library as well as our current Bush Regiment cover, I think that's an interesting talking point. We'll talk about that later. So I'm looking forward to affirming all of that work, getting it to Chloe, updating the town website, and then we can do a report out to the council as far as our progress. Skirmish, again, I've talked about every time we meet, we make a little more ground. Mark and I are headed out to the Nathaniel Green Homestead September 20th, I believe it's a Saturday. Brendan Mitchell's one of the commanders with Kingston Reds. He's gonna plot out the Saugatucket Park, and we're gonna script out kind of like how the military generals used to do. This is how we see the event happening, and that will give rise to memorializing our active use of that Saugatucket Park and surrounding areas. so we can get a little more granular in terms of our approvals through the town. We can finish our scripting of, I mean, these are skirmishes, these are events that happen all around the country, but we wanna bring this event home and have a South Kingstown flavor to it in terms of the South Kingstown families that are represented, or those that have been underrepresented. So I think we're on track to be successful for that. We do have one invoice in already, a request for a deposit, and this is part of our budget that was endorsed by our committee and the council. So we are starting to, get invoices in for actual work. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts or comments on that, but administratively, I wanna make sure I'm square with Terry so that we can move forward and secure these groups that were previously identified. Thank you, Kate.
Excuse me.
I gotta head out.
Ken,
Yes.
just on that note, for step-by-step process of authorization and payment for expenditures, I did do up a little step-by-step to remind people of W-9s if it's a vendor or a speaker that we haven't had before, so they're not in the system, along with the tax exempt certificate for the town, because if you are using a vendor that charges tax, they need to get that, so that, because the town will not reimburse anyone for tax if you're paying out of your own pocket, which I would highly discourage, that we can get our invoices in prior to. That is better than reimbursing. It's just a cleaner accounting method. I know there are some scenarios where that happens, coffee cups or whatever. But I'll send that out in an email to everybody.
That tax-free number is awesome. I've been using that thing for like 2 years.
Yeah, right, as well.
But I think, in all seriousness, we can talk about it under section 5B budget. We are hemmed in intentionally with what we presented to the committee and then the council and what they gave us for a budget. So my suggestion is that as long as we are operating within the envelope of our previously endorsed budget, that we're allowed to continue to secure these vendors, these actors, and that this committee is the clearinghouse, as because none of us uniquely can engage any contractors. We have to route everything through the town. So I'd ask you, Terry, if this is an acceptable way to do business. I don't know that this committee can or should be reviewing and approving every individual expenditure. I don't remember how we did it during the 300. We had a lot of moving pieces.
There were a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
If there was specific fundraising done for certain programs,
Yeah.
and the budget was kept pretty much to the penny of what was gone where. I would just comment that if there are any expenditures that exceed the certain triggers in the purchasing ordinance, that they do first come to the committee.
Sure.
And there's a $2,500 mark. If it's a non-construction activity, that between $2,500 and I think $5,000, it needs to be written quotes for whatever the service is.
How many?
Three what?
Three written quotes.
3 written quotes, right. And then if it's above 5,000 if it's non-construction, 10,000 if it's construction, which it won't likely be that, but it needs to have the bid process
Okay.
engaged.
And in regard to like these militias,
Mhm.
like how does that, so they gotta be under 2,500 is what you're saying?
Most of them should be,
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
think?
Yeah.
If they're, but if they're not, I have to run it through the purchasing person. to
Does it
say,
have to be required as a
because
single
these are,
source?
right, so it would have to be a unique,
Mhm.
specification that doesn't allow for,
So-
similar to like the parade,
Yeah.
groups, there was some parade groups in the 300 that were above $3,000, or $2,500, but,
And in this case, I think the biggest expense, honestly, is the horse-drawn carriages. So there are two of them for several hours. That's coming at $2,800.
okay,
So I don't know what your guidance is on that. I mean, I can make an effort to see if there's any other. I mean, it's New England Carriage Company. I mean, they're kind of a big
yep.
group, but you let me know. If,
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think if we can get quotes from other vendors, that would be the best thing to do.
Okay.
There aren't a ton of them locally, but I think there are some, and if we're specifying, what it is, a horse-drawn carriage, 2 horses, 1 horse, whatever, kind of use the specification of the quote that you got, and then put it out to 2 or 3 other.
Let me
vendors.
follow up on that then. I want to do this by the book. So I'm pretty confident that this group. I mean, it's the style of the carriage. It's the fact that these horses have been in parades before with the muskets firing. So let me follow up on it and see.
Okay.
It's much easier just to ask like 2 or 3 other vendors if they can do that and what their pricing is.
Yes,
And honestly, if the pricing comes back favorably, then I can always go back to this other group and say,
mm-hmm.
you gotta beat your neighbor here. Okay, so, again, as I mentioned earlier during my chair report, the skirmish, Mark and I did talk with Charles Roberts, who's a very interesting character, that's one way to reference him. He's spent a lot of time researching Black and indigenous populations in terms of his nonprofit, the Rhode Island Slave Medallion Museum. He's very interested in participating in the skirmish. He's interested in helping us celebrate military history recognition. And we left that meeting where we were all smiling. He was very excited about what South Kingstown is doing to commemorate the 250th. So we're looking to follow up with that. He did also mention that he's also looking to bring the Amistad ship into Newport, tangential to what we're doing. But it was great to talk to him in terms of his input, influence, and involvement on the statewide 250th. So this is the first time that I've had a chance to rub elbows with somebody else that's outside of South Kingstown, and I think it's great that they're.
Does someone have a silver Subaru with Florida plates outside?
Do I need to move it?
I have to back out and I can't get out. You know?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Where are we on the agenda right now?
We'll hold up until you get back. We're under Saugatucket Skirmish 5A, subsection 3.
Okay, I just gotta run and just,
Yeah. Take your time.
I'm gonna talk the military part.
Okay.
I heard
We're taking a pause.
Okay,
I heard a commercial yesterday. I guess it was sponsored by the state regarding the 250th events in Rhode Island. They were advertising it, and they mentioned a website. I don't recall what it was offhand, but starting to get the word out.
Yeah, it's happening slowly. It's funny, we're renovating our office, and we're moving to another building. And my boss, Karen, you may know Paul DePace, he's been around for some time. He's actually got an RI-76 sticker on the outside of his door. I haven't seen one of those in decades.
50 years.
5 decades to be specific. Yeah, and it's we're just waiting for that spark. I think it's starting to happen like we thought. We get outside of the summer, we went back to school. And then it's other bigger forces, national forces, statewide forces, they're starting to talk about the 250th. And we want that to kind of seep into their subconscious, and then we can hit them with some content.
I say bring it back.
Bring
RI 76.
It was great. Remember, it was lowercase RI. It's like that was a thing. You know, the '70s are weird. You know, the coloration was weird, but yeah, they had a lot of lowercase, graphic design.
I'll have to take your word for that, man. I wasn't born
Way before my time.
Yeah, before my time. My mustache isn't great, it's platinum. My granddaughter says it's white.
Carol, how's George?
Huh?
How's George doing?
Good, thanks.
Tell him I was asking for him.
Very good. He's at home with the grandchildren right now.
Oh, how many?
2. They're at the house. So they're spending the night.
That's sweet.
I have 11 grandkids and 1 great-grandson.
Wow. God bless you. Thank you.
5 people said they could clearly get out. I don't know what that was about. I can't find the person either.
Were you parked in a parking spot?
No,
No,
I
on
parked,
this side.
Oh,
there's a green pickup truck, and I parked
That's
behind him.
town truck, yeah.
Who is it? Yeah, it says town truck, so is somebody in the town
That's
truck?
that's where that
There you
car
go.
gets parked, but those aren't parking spaces.
Okay, so why
Nice.
couldn't he get out?
I
Is he
couldn't tell
trying to
you.
get out?
He works here,
I like
so,
it.
but
Bring it back.
that's not his truck. He needed to get his personal vehicle out, yeah.
But I'm not in the way of his personal vehicle.
Okay,
know.
so we're gonna go back to 5A subsection 3, Sauk Executive Chairman. So I gave the update on that. 4th of July enhancement, we just have some new volunteers, so congratulations. Would you like to give an update? No.
Who's for
What was
the
that?
Who's in charge of the 4th of July? Mark?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we have an update on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my update on the 4th of July is I will brief everybody.
When is it again?
It's gonna be in 26,
Oh, it's on the 4th.
2026, on the 4th of July.
All right.
Plans are not made yet.
Okay.
That's not entirely true.
Me-
We have booked the band, so,
So we
and the
have-
fireworks.
And the fireworks.
Okay.
We'll get together, Mark, and go through that.
And again, just a footnote, again, we didn't, I don't think, I'm not sure if our overall budget had something plugged in for the 4th of July. We may have, but we will have to go back and look at the budget, I think, as an ongoing basis.
$500.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. I was totally thinking of just the tricorn hats, and just something for kids.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll move over to the town beach party. Again, you have an update for us?
Well, I did scout out the location the other day at the concert, and it was a great setup. Looked like, everyone was having a good time. It was very well organized. Terry did a great job of that. Chloe as well. So, like you said, we're just trying to scout out a good location for bonfire and festivities. They have some good ideas that I'll wait for the committee meeting
Okay.
to discuss.
The work group.
Work group, yes.
Yes. Okay, moving on to military history recognition. So, Bill, congratulations, what's the update?
All right. Well, since I'm just been appointed, I'd like to, for now, defer to Sharon.
Thank you.
She'd like to inform.
Well, we've got
the
something planned for the 19th. We've got public locations of the World War II.
Is that September 19th?
Yes. We said that in the previous. The World War II Museum. The town has approved the hallway in the front of the town hall. The
Memorial Union.
Oh, you mean the MIA tables?
Yeah.
Those are, tables of remembrance. The Memorial Union at URI, the library at URI,
Okay.
and
Peacedale.
Peacedale Library
In Kingston.
and Kingston Library. We have 6 tables.
Nice.
We have everything and collected everything. We've been everywhere. We've got all the dinnerware, and we have the memorial plaques. And I'll talk at the next meeting asking for, we wanted to put a poster up. There is a poster for that, but that's not until the 19th.
Okay.
And the other thing is, I did want to talk about the monument a bit. Terry wrote a letter here, and it says that, she gave current information to, the town manager, the public works director, and I believe herself. It was an internal meeting.
Hmm.
And the proposed location of the monument on the grounds of the Hazard Schools falls within a construction work site area for the new high school project. This creates a conflict with the construction. Went over that thoroughly, that it does not. We even talked with the foreman, and I have pictures of the maps. They're making a road in way over. The only thing that ever could happen if they ever decide to resurface it. So the construction area is not that. Talk to the assistant, what is he called? The town
The deputy
manager,
town manager, Luke.
Luke, and he said, I know it's not. He said, that's really not a problem. But it says here, at this point, the committee needs to consider options, which may include identifying alternative locations. That's not necessary based on the construction. The time, modifying the school scope and design work with different site requirements. Adjusting the timeline with the school construction schedule, wait until the school's completed. All those don't even count because it's not an issue. That is not an issue with this monument. And the other thing I wanted to show you here was, this is the size of the monument. And so it's a little thing, just so you know, the monument this is the one that's there, and that's not even the top. This is just a graphic to show you how small it is. It's not a big deal, okay. And the funding, working pretty strongly on the funding right now. I just wanted to say that we do have commitment, we have quite a bit of commitment, and I think we'll talk about that when we get down to the grant. Yes, and I'll get off that for that right now.
Okay.
May I just comment on that? Apparently I was wrong. My understanding was that whole corner of School and Columbia Street was part of the school construction project. So I apologize, Sharon, I stand corrected on that. In my own opinion, I do think that's a lot of activity going on over there to coincide with this type of project. So I'm just throwing that out there. We don't want it to get lost, and I'm not sure you want to try to have a ceremony or something really special while there's a full construction zone going on. Just my opinion, but, and then on the funding side, I think I was.
That's the big part.
Yeah.
Funding is the big part.
Exactly, and
And
that was the concern.
There will be no problem with ceremony and all that. I mean, that's been clearly spelled out what's happening. And I mean, I've gone to, you don't know how many people I've gone to in that construction thing, and the school committee and that. So I feel real strong about that. The money part is the issue, but the construction stuff wasn't it. So, and I'm not, like I said, it may go to another location someday, but the point is, we don't have, the issue is money more than anything right now.
Yeah.
And I think there's a very good chance of getting that money.
Okay.
I've been speaking, and we'll find out about that when we get down to there.
So just on that site, one more thing, that's not that has to go somewhere for approval, and it's not
No, I know.
me. Okay.
And we're
I
not
don't
there
wanna-
yet, because
okay.
until we got the money, we're not going there.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sharon, I just had a quick question. You showed the scale on that. I was just curious, are you still intending on putting the eagle you had?
Yeah, yeah,
showed?
and what you didn't see on that was just the scale of the barrels.
Mhm.
And this is like 36 inches high without the eagle. 36 inches high, which is to your waist. With the eagle, it's 48.
Okay.
So it's not even as tall as you are. It's a very small piece.
Mhm.
The other one, I actually went there with an engineer and we did circumference, we know everything. That's how we could draw that on the CADs, okay? There's not on there, but there is Gorham eagles that are like as tall as you are on the top. And there's an urn on top of that, and then there's cake layers. That thing is huge, and it's a flagstaff.
Mhm.
And so it's like this monster compared to this little thing, you know. And the way it was presented, because the guy that did the thing, he just put it next to each other, making it look like, oh God, we gotta get a crane and swing this in here. Not really, it's a small piece. So anyway, I hate that we've got people from Washington right now, in DC, we've got a whole bunch of reenactors from Washington. We've got the original guys from New Jersey who are part of the First Rhode Island, they've been doing this for 10 years, coming here. And so, you know, if this gets thrown off, but anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, so,
Oh, and the other part is we are well on our way. I have been donated 300 flags in boxes that have been given to me as a donation. And we are creating a manual. We've got photography, we've got photographers, and we are creating 106 sites of veterans from this war and where they're buried. And we're gonna commemorate every one of those graves and either put it into a film. We're definitely gonna make a booklet as a project. It might not happen, you know, now, but that was the plan. And I spelled that out to this committee in a document and gave everything about the costs and everything of it, so.
okay, so let's, I mean, I think you and Bill and others work offline on this. This is great, and again, our goal is to use this committee as kind of the official sounding board, authorizations, and then we can get, you know, into the budget section next, and we can move forward. So if you guys can get together on that and work out the details, because it'll all be about the details. So we'll move on to section 5B, grants, donations, and fundraising.
Just a reminder, we have 8 minutes left.
Okay, got it. Do we want to entertain a motion to extend the committee meeting for, what, another 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'll make a motion
Okay,
that we extend it till we finish. We haven't got that much, I haven't got that much more to say. I don't know who else does.
okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, so we do have an opportunity and an obligation to get some grants written. Secretary of State's office has 2 flavors. There's one that's the, I believe, $5,000 for community grants. I believe there's another one for $10,000. And I believe that $10,000 grant is more for like a more regional impact. So I believe we should be re-looking at our budget and our estimates for all of our programs. I don't know that, like tonight, we're able to jump in with both feet and to do all the budgeting that's required to come up with a draft grant. But in very general terms, and I'm just taking the grant component first, we do need to relook at our pro forma. You know, this is what the program is, this is what the resources that are required, and this is what our working budget is. We need to take those and basically we have to validate what we ask money for. This is just for the Rhode Island 250th community grant. So there's the 5,000, and then there's the separate $10,000 grant program. Laurel, are you, I think I asked you this last time, so you're not applying for those grants? Yeah,
We'll use the money from our friends of the library,
okay,
or from miscellaneous donations we already
gotcha. I will follow up, John and Karen and I also sat in on a RISCA around State Council for the Arts grant training program, which was hacked. It was horrible, but they've come back and they've given their guidance, and that grant program is it's mostly set up for artists. There are some grant opportunities for art in public places. So I think if we're going to do a monument of some sort, I think that might be a good grant opportunity for that program. That's similar to what we did, I believe, or maybe different. I think we did
No,
through
we did
Commerce.
the, Commerce.
Commerce Corps. Yeah,
Good
the
to
Commerce
have that.
Corporation,
Yeah.
placemaking.
Placemaking grant,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
So again, I'm just spitballing at this point. I think what we need to do is, when we call for agenda items for the next meeting, we need to put a heavy focus on getting our grant applications prepared. As a committee, we need to get behind all these programs. We need to figure out the paltry sum, but thank you, town, 30 grand. I know, Sharon, I think the last time we looked at your budget for the memorial, it was like 165,000-ish.
Never was.
Okay. Well, what was it?
Like 142.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so it was about 142,000.
And in your thing, have you got any sort of a printout of what's been encumbered, or what you're, like, for example, your skirmish, were we given $20,000?
We were given
from the town?
$30,000.
$30,000 from the
Yep.
town, North Kingstown got 10.
Yep.
So when you, have you encumbered any of that money, or is it spoken for?
Not yet.
Not yet,
Not yet.
okay. When will that be, when you make an announcement?
Well, we just talked about that earlier. So that budget has already been endorsed by the council. It's been endorsed by this committee. But as a matter of good practice, I think what we're gonna do is, as we get individual invoices in or requests for deposit, we ensure that this committee is kind of a clearinghouse, and we push them forward here. I've got 2 of them right now. One of them is for the carriages, but I've got good direction to see if I get some additional quotes. The other one is for the graphic. I believe that came in, I'm not sure if it was $600 or $700.
I have to go back and look
Yeah,
at that.
which was part of the budget. If that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay. So back to grants, in that other email that Lauren copied me in on, I believe there's other grant opportunities. And Sharon, I'm looking at you and Bill. If there are larger military history recognition events or programs that could use that funding, I think, you can just amend whatever your pro forma is for that program and start to identify potential funding sources. Because I think you've got seed money in the draft budget that we created, months ago, just to get on the council's radar as they were getting ready to approve the budget. But we should reconcile that now and show a good working budget. My suggestion is that I can set this up as a Google Sheet, so it's live at any point in time. Anybody can go online. It'll be restricted to just this committee, and Terry, yourself, and Chloe, and Maureen, obviously yourself as well, so we can actively see how we're tracking.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be open. The last category here was also fundraising. Again, we've got a draft letter. We've got a draft list of groups. I think as we've now formally acknowledged our working groups, we can now, after we have maybe a more focused discussion on the budgeting for all these events, we can then carve up those responsibilities to take that draft letter, push that forward for requests for contributions. And again, it's meant to be an open discussion. If you've already done some legwork and you've talked to existing businesses about a specific event, we don't wanna double dip and have somebody else hit them up for funding as well, so.
Can I say something about that?
Sure.
I've been working with a representative, Sabine, Matos.
Yep.
Lauren Spears with the Tomatalk Museum.
Yep.
And I'm working with a professor at Brown University, who works in this field also. And so those are these, if this blends in with community outreach and communications and legislation, I think that all works together. So those are the new ones of our working with Tansy and Fogarty. But those are the new ones. You said you wanted to know when we were stepping out or who we were talking to.
Sure. And I think to that point, and similar to the theme of, having advance notice of the next committee meetings, agenda items, I think we're gonna have to, we need to pivot and shift and focus on the actual events that are going to happen next year. And we're gonna have to do a little bit of a focused dive on grants and fundraising. And we need to aggregate all this information so that we're all reading off the same sheet of music. We did this on the 300th. We actually splintered off and had a fundraising committee. It was Joanne, myself, and Beth LeConte. But then we rolled that back up and we're informing the committee regularly on our progress. I think because we're a small committee, we should just be able to do it at our next meeting. I feel like now's the time to kind of, we're significantly expanding our budget with the potentially this memorial setup. And if we do that, we're going to have to show how we're going to pay for it, and then we're going to have to just figure out what the timeline is and work out all those nuts and bolts. So I'm supportive of continuing to be formal as a committee and asking for funding for all these different sources for the specific projects that are going to be hosted by this committee. Communication with legislators, we got probably about another month or two to get our internal acts together before the holidays set in. That's when we're gonna go to the legislators just before they go into session. In addition to the RI 250th grants, there are local legislative grants. So we wanna make sure we queue all that information up, and we're selective in terms of the grants that are gettable, that are very easy to get, and we can put the money wherever it needs to go. The grants that are very specific for specific types of projects, if it's the memorial, or if it's for actors, or whatever it is. I think, again, I'm sensing a very targeted next meeting to kind of go through this. This being the money piece. Money always gets in the way. Community outreach, I've given my update. I don't know if anybody else has had any significant community outreach efforts that have gone on.
That's what I just said, I did.
You did, so thank you for mentioning that.
I think Sabine
Matos?
is huge.
Yeah. What's her position now? I know she was
Lieutenant Governor.
Lieutenant Governor.
And she's running again for Lieutenant
Yeah.
Governor.
Yeah, it's another touch point. It's not this November, is it?
Next November.
Next November?
26, I
Well,
think.
November 26th will be the midterm election.
Gotcha. Important to know because that's when.
And there will be,
Politicians keep on making promises.
there will be primaries before that,
Gotcha.
September, I think.
Okay, if that's okay, I think we've covered community outreach since last meeting. Planned, I don't have anything planned now, aside of, I just mentioned, end of September, going out to the Kingston Reds, meeting them at the Nathaniel Green home, but I don't have anything else planned.
We're doing a cemetery cleanup.
Gotcha. All right.
And you're going to the website eventually?
Yes, or I have a screenshot, so I could do both.
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot of the logo as a draft form, because I can't share that with you.
Okay,
Then I also sent you a link to the updated, what's like publicly viewed, which doesn't have the logo. Obviously, it hasn't been approved yet.
so forgive the, oops.
So that's what it looks like.
Where is my mouse? Thanks.
My question on this is, where did we come up with the mission statement? Did we vote on that, or was that, how did that happen?
The what
The
statement?
mission statement that's on the website. I don't ever recall, unless it was when I was gone.
It may have been something through the council.
That was, hold on, I think that was taken from, I can't remember now, one of the documents related to appointment of the, or establishment of the committee.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe part of the resolution.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Yeah. We can follow up on that. That's
You
easily.
can take it out of your,
We
Modified?
don't need to do it now, I just was asking that question. And another thing I have is, the Kingston Free Library worked with us from the very beginning. When we set up that table, that librarian, what's his name that was in charge of that?
That's Lewis.
Lewis, they did, the librarians themselves created a walking tour, and we put them on this committee as partners. And we actually featured those, and I printed out all those copies of their walking tour, and everything they're doing, and we were partnering with them. We're supposed to be bouncing off each other. And they need to be on this website. And also, the Contemporary Theater does too, because the Contemporary Theater is hosting us for summer series. And so we said we'd partner with these people and how they were our partners. And we had other people, and it just disappeared. So if we could get those on the website, that would be wonderful.
That makes sense to me, and, yeah.
we talked about that, Laurel and I have had that discussion about linking all of the library events and features related to this on this website.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
And doing something, like, we are doing another rollout of a piece of history for Kingston, so we'll, you know,
I mean, I'm telling
push it
people,
to
there's a walking tour.
Chloe.
And somebody said, oh, well, what's his name? Who's the guy that is the, oh. He was,
Judge and
Hmm?
Deglia?
yeah,
Yeah,
he can do, I said, these librarians have a 10-page one. You can just take yourself and go walking. That needs to be advertised. That's part of 250. You know, I mean, that's something, I was driving, and this guy's sending me stuff in my phone to forward to, you know, the print source. So the point is that here we are, and I think this really needs to be active.
I agree. So, one thing I'd like to do to support your point is we're intentionally trying to constrain ourselves to achievable projects, programs, speaker series, so that we can publish this information. I think everything is going nicely. I think there's a little more work that has to be done on the memorial. So I think we can have a placeholder for military history recognition. There needs to be a little bit more definition on that. John and Karen gave us good definition on the breadth and width of the speaker series. They didn't, I don't know that they locked in all the dates, but we've got enough information to, I think we should just start populating this website as draft, and if it's okay, maybe at the next meeting, let's review it one more time and let's let it go live. We'll give it the thumbs up that it's you know, we're live, we're active, these are the things we're committed to, the things that are within our budget, we're gonna make it happen. The other pieces that are on the outside that we still have to raise money for are things that we gotta work towards, and we wanna get them all done. But I'm just leery about trying to put it out there if we don't have all the funding support yet.
We do have the funding for the we do have the funding for the marking all the graves. We've always had that.
Then that,
And I've had donations for that.
okay, so that's,
We've always had the funding for the cleanups. In fact, this group was invited to begin with to come to the cleanups.
and to your point, you may have seen this as well, other communities are putting random stuff on their 250th websites. It's like, just, hey, we're having a, whatever, water, harbor lights in Wickford. It's like, that has nothing to do with the 250 if it's not even
They
the
just
250.
incorporated into what they're doing.
So to your point, I think we can start to do the same thing. I don't wanna cannibalize the overall 250th theme, but let's, all right, so there's two big focuses for next week. The funding, and then we're gonna affirm the language in the website so we can get that live. And with
There
the,
is a live version.
There is a live version,
This is a screenshot of a draft, but if you click that link,
Yep.
that's what's live right now.
this is the live version, right?
That's what I went there already and copied it.
And things have probably been changed since you did that, because
I
I was
know.
editing during this meeting.
Oh,
So
yeah,
things
oh,
have
okay,
probably
no, it
already
was,
been
I thought it was
updated.
great, I wondered, where did we get a mission from? I don't remember, because I remember I made that big sign.
Yep.
And it said something about community engagement, it had some other words in there I thought were really cool, but we didn't ever make
Gotcha.
So that would be obviously replaced with the,
and see, you've got, isn't that the town logo over there?
Yes.
for now, until the regular
No,
logo,
but
it hasn't been approved.
Oh, it hasn't, okay,
By this
listen,
committee.
I like it,
Me too.
the
Okay.
town logo.
Oh,
I mean, so.
we can still leave the town seal somewhere on the
Yeah.
page.
Somewhere on the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. But on that theme, if I could, I'm gonna bring us back to the agenda. So the graphic has gone through several iterations, and again, I'll pop it back up again. Forgive the low resolution quality. I am looking for an endorsement on this graphic so we can start to publicize it, publish it, use it on the website, and we can obviously use the town graphic as well. But we wanted to have our own identity, but again, being red, white, and blue, aligned with the nation, and per the instruction direction of the council and the town manager, they did want to have a focus with the Kingsford Free Library. So I think we've struck a chord with this graphic. The center of the graphic is that First Rhode Island Regiment cover, head cover, and most people don't know what that's all about. And I think it's a fantastic springboard for us to get people talking about Black and Indigenous folks that were not recognized. And Rhode Island has a unique place in our revolutionary history because of them.
I make a motion that we approve the logo graphic.
Second.
Any other discussion on it? I'll suggest that we wanted to think about how we were somewhat successful with the 300th. We had our own logo. It showed up on glasses, on shirts. We had a graphic for Astara, we had car magnets. I think at a future meeting, we do have a limited marketing budget. We may want to do some bumper magnets or car magnets or something like that. But we would like to see if we can start to pump out this graphic consistent with the state, the nation, and it's a little bit of bragging rights here. It's a nicer graphic. I'm sorry, it is.
He did a good job.
I did nothing. I just knew a guy
He did a
that.
good job. Somebody.
Any other thoughts, discussion on the graphic?
I did have a question,
Yes.
so if the library wanted to spend some funding to do little tchotchkes, could we use that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I have, for all of our information, we have the Adobe Illustrator. It's a vector file, so it's scalable infinitely. So this graphic is set up so that if we wanted to put it on any other graphic or modify it, we can get in and modify it. So, yeah. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Yes, Chloe, I'm sorry.
no, I'm not opposed. So do you want to wait until that designer receives payment before I start using it on the website, or can it go? Is that, like, I don't know what.
Yeah, no, great question. So I'll ask Terry, so this came in well under the threshold. It's I think
Yeah,
600 or 700. Let me see if I can. Swamp Cape Yards.
have it here somewhere.
I'll get it here. Here it is. $600.
Okay,
Are you able to pay him? I believe you have his W-9 on file.
Yes, I already sent this for a requisition,
Okay.
so we are, we're able to pay him,
Okay.
because the council's authorized the budget.
And I think, for those that are looking at the count the beans, I think I had budgeted like 700, so we're just slightly under that budget item. So you're good to go, Chloe, thank you. All right, social media, I don't know, Chloe, again, we're getting super, super close. All of our talking points are in, a little more content, now you got the graphic. I think once the website's up, then it's like, you know.
I added some John and Karen, I don't know who was CC'd on that, get with maybe you and Terry, but they sent like an overview, like a general overview of what this speaker series would look like, so. I don't know if anyone remembers the graphic that I had made on the draft that would have listed them, I just put their language on that and it's on the website as a flyer now. So people can have an idea that it's happening, just not any specifics.
Perfect.
I don't know what the Facebook situation looks like, but I think that would be a good, I don't know if that's something we have to do with Lori.
You know, it would be good, we don't have enough yet.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think it would be beneficial as another, like like the website I think is good to have, but then take the website and put it on another platform that brings more people to the website. We do that all the time, use those two, so.
And with that, those fine details, I think my goal would be to get on the council agenda in September to give them an update as to where we're at. Again, that's kind of a springboard. We've kind of confirmed the achievable programs, projects throughout next year. We've got our logo. We're really trying to pump people up. It may be that that's also an opportunity publicly to say, hey, Sharon and others are working on the Liberty Tree planning, and next month, please be available. It's a part of a natural celebration hosted in Rhode Island. I'm not sure it's national, but certainly in Rhode Island it is.
They did it in Coventry,
Yep.
and I've already been to the town, found out when they want to have it, the
Yep.
time, which is early afternoon on the 24th or late morning on the 24th. They have an agenda. I mean, we're not responsible. They're going to take care of all the elected officials. We don't do any of that they do it. It says that we can do certain things, like we can have a musical performance or community voices if we want to, or we can, historical reflection, but they're inviting all the, I call it muckety mucks.
Yeah,
They're
well, yeah.
inviting all of them.
Yeah.
And they will lead in inviting elected officials. They greatly like your input, but they're gonna invite the elected officials.
Good.
So there's not much more to it except designing a program.
And I think to your point, I think what we'll try to do is try to get on the council agenda. Maybe it's not the first, maybe it's the second agenda or meeting in September. That'll give council and the public.
The 8th, I think.
What's the question?
Well, she asked when the meeting was.
Oh, the next council meeting?
Yeah.
But then, I think the second one.
Yeah, the second one is what I give ourselves a little breathing room.
Yeah.
And we can give an update, and if you'd like to come to the meeting, you can give the announcement as well as far as this specific Liberty Tree planning. And honestly, we're working with the Kingston Reds. Maybe they'd be interested in having somebody come up in their colonial dress. I don't know. I mean, there are options. It doesn't necessarily have to feed off of your budget either. Maybe this is a precursor to the larger Saugatuck skirmish. We're trying to get people thinking, trying to get them interested, right? They're shaking off the cobwebs from the summer, migrating into pumpkin spice season. Kids are back at school, and...
That's September the 22nd.
Thank you.
And our next meeting will be September 2nd for this committee.
Okay, so that is agenda item 6. Again, Sharon, if there's any specific items that, I need to call you out directly, but we talked about this earlier. If you folks, anybody has any specific agenda items that we don't think are covered in our standard agenda format, just let us know when Kate sends out that draft. But otherwise, I think I'm gonna try to focus on our budgeting, our grants, and then we'll memorialize the content on the website. So that all is able to go live, be live, and hopefully we'll get glowing accolades from the council in September, which would be a nice springboard for Liberty Tree planting in October.
Awesome. Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'm sorry.
I'll withdraw that motion. Go ahead, Terry.
Just one quick thing. Do you want us to post the World War II Memorial table thing? Do you want a flyer? Shouldn't that go up on the website?
It's on the website.
The remembrance tables.
The remembrance tables?
Yeah, I've got pictures, I think I sent them to you.
So,
I didn't see pictures, but it is on the website if you scroll down.
but usually, if you want, you said you had a poster, do you want us to
We can
Yeah.
send
see
it
the
to you.
poster and then we can
Yeah,
Wait,
and
design a flyer and get it up there? That's really the first,
I sent her links.
yes, she
Let me
said,
see, where is it?
The event is on there, but
The
I don't have a
events there, but she
flyer
doesn't
for
have
it.
it.
Oh,
The National
I sent you
Peer
all
the-
kinds of graphics.
Oh, I guess I didn't
right,
see
but,
those.
so,
It's
I
like-
had the information
It
on
has
it.
you know,
you want us to use that and post that as a flyer, or you want a flyer done?
I'll get back to you on that, because
Yeah,
I think I've got
okay.
all that in there. I just can't
Okay.
remember.
So we can look at that, but I just, you said you have a poster and it's similar.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, that's right around the corner, so we can put that up in more than just the table format.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was it.
No,
We can
that's good.
connect.
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye, aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.